Coach, Brad, how do you adjust to life without Maxwell Harrison?
Yeah, uh, I hate the cliche, next man up, but it is what it is, and we've talked about it, going into the Ole Miss game, and we got a bunch of guys that are ready to play, and that's why they practice hard so that they can be the next guy in, and that's the way we'll just always do it. It doesn't matter which position.
Brad, there's been a lot of talk about this being kind of a unique offense. Does it remind you of any you've maybe faced in your past, and is it like equivalent at all to maybe playing a triple option team?
Yeah, obviously it's not to the extent of the Air Force Academy, but I was there obviously for 2 years, and what they do out there is so unique, and obviously they're more under center triple, but they would jump into the pistol and give people fits, and so there are elements of that, but they're very unique in their own style and how they do it formationally, and then what they do route concept wise. Obviously it starts with the quarterback and his ability to handle the offense, the multiplicity of what they do, that's a lot, and obviously he's been in that system, so he understands what they're looking for. They stress you in a lot of different areas. They stress you in the C gap, out in the alleys when they run it. Pass game wise, there's so much eye candy. You can let them. They're one of the top, I think, 5 or 10 most efficient offenses in passing efficiency as well, because they know how to create space, both in the run game and in the pass game. And so scheme wise, really good. Player wise, really good. Obviously everybody talks about the quarterback, but the running backs are running really hard, and not only just running through tackles, breaking tackles, but when they're called on to block, you see them put bodies on the ground. You can tell they take great pride in what they do. Receivers making play on one-on-one jump balls, specifically with Skinner out there, he's made a lot of plays. Sherrill's made obviously the big catch on 4th down, but he's done some really good things. And then obviously, Stowers at tight end has just been a monster for them this year. And, really a big security blanket, for the quarterback. And so, yeah, really a very difficult challenge for us this week. Guys have to tackle really well. We have to play fundamentally sound. So we got to be on our A game for sure.
Right. How important is time of possession with the offense is going to try to keep you guys on the field a lot of time?
Yeah, obviously in any game, it's a big deal, and it's a big deal to try to get the ball to our offense so they have chances to score and get their rhythm going. So we, what I think is obviously first and second down efficiency is a huge deal because they want to stay on track and on target, and ahead of the sticks, but third down is a vital down, obviously, and it is in every game, but I think specifically you saw last week for them, they were just so efficient on third that they were able to continue to extend drives, and then if they had to go for it on fourth, they were successful there as well. So obviously critical that we were able to get off the field as much as we can as quickly.
Coach, you played two really good quarterbacks already this year, and both back in dark on the worst games. But what's different about Pop? Is it just the style of offense, or is there something about his play?
He's so savvy, and he's got so much moxie and so much toughness to him. No environment, no situation seems to really rattle him. I know there's been a lot of sort of Johnny Manziel comparisons, and you can see that in the number and all that. But I think my initial thought when I watched him, I thought sort of Baker Mayfield, in terms of that savvy and that moxie and that gunslinger, and I guess they're all sort of fit sort of that same category where they're just tough as nails, and it doesn't matter how hard you hit them, they're going to pop right back up and they're going to love it. And he's going to make his plays. Like we understand that. Like don't go against really good football players and say, oh, you know, we're going to shut them out. Like, they're going to make their plays. We just have to make our share when that opportunity presents itself. They've done a great job of not turning the ball over. So if we can force a turnover or two, that would be huge. And again, steal a possession for our offense.
Because
Brad,
of that
you
moxie,
guys-
Brad, I feel like, you know, that confidence is going throughout the entire team after a win like that. Is that kind of infectious?
Yeah, you know,
what you guys are
listen, we've talked about it before. Momentum's a huge deal, and you know they're building momentum. Not just him as a player, but that whole offense and the whole team, and it all builds on each other. And so, you know, the goal, you know, for any team is to try to break some of that rhythm of the opponent. You know, and so that's going to be our task this week, is to try to break some of that rhythm that they've got right now. You know, obviously an extremely tough task, easier said than done. But hopefully if we can do that, that will create rhythm for our offense, and then we can gain the momentum. But there's going to be ebb and flows throughout the game, and so we shall see.
Brad, you guys have coming off a bye week. You've got to spend 2 weeks preparing for these guys and looking at film. I know that Vanderbilt shocked the college football world Saturday. You being able to watch film on them last week, not having an opponent, were you kind of shocked by that, or did you know that was within that offense?
No, I mean, we talked about it last week before they even played Alabama. I mean, they were 2 plays away going into that game to being 4-0 going into the game. So if you think about it, they're 2 plays away essentially, you know, in the Missouri game and the Georgia State game from being 5-0. So no, there was no fluke. There was nothing about that was really surprising. And again, when you watch the tape and you watch them, you understand, you know, why they're able to do what they do. It's a great scheme with really good football players executing at a really high level, playing with great passion. You saw in the very first drive, you know, of that Alabama game, there was nobody on that field that was afraid to be on that field. They wanted every bit of that smoke in that situation, and they're going to want every bit on site.
Brad, how important is Pop into what you guys have done so far?
Yeah, he's been everybody on the defense has been obviously vital, but you know, Pop brings a physicality, you know, and a physical toughness in the middle of our defense, which is huge. Made some really big tackles for us. You know, has done a great job of, you know, I think he's found his rhythm, you know, in his comfort level. Now, you know, I think it was early on, you're sort of feeling out a completely different process than you used to, right? And then early on in the season, it's trying to figure out, all right, how do they go about game wins, right? So like everything was new for Pop, and now there's finally a comfort, like, okay, I understand the rhythm of a game week. I understand, you know, how the coaches go about, you know, installations. I understand how we react on the sidelines, all of those things. So now he's just back to playing football.
1 or 2 more.
Brad, they shift their tackles from right to left, their guards same way. I don't know the last time I've seen that. What offenses is that compared to, and what just unique challenges does that present for the D-line?
Yeah, it is extremely unique. You don't see it very often. As far as for the defensive line, you know, I don't think it varies that much. Obviously, you have to understand who you're going against, you know, what their tendency is, what they like to do, run, pass, all those kind of things. But ultimately, you know, you just got to, whoever they put in front of you, that's the guy you got to put your hands on and try to physically dominate.
Anybody else? All right, thanks.
And playing on this, just what's kind of going through your head there, knowing that expanded.
Just really, I've been practicing like I've been starting, so it wasn't no real surprise. I wasn't nervous, scared, nothing. I just next man up, that's what I did.
How much pride did you guys take in the way you played without him?
I took like pride because I know they think we probably was gonna be as good or show up like that. So we took pride in competing, and that's what we had did.
With a game, no game, I guess, last Saturday, were you able to watch that Vandy Alabama game live?
Yeah, I actually watched the whole game.
What'd you think of it, watching that live?
It was a good game. Vandy played good, Vandy played good, and Vandy was the best team that day.
Were you surprised at all at how
I mean, I think everybody was surprised about that game. Yeah, that was.
Obviously, you guys have played really good offenses already, but what's the mood in the locker room when Vandy's getting as much attention as they are this week? Everyone's talking about how good the quarterback and the offense and all that is.
Like Ole Miss week, they're a ranked team. With the offense, we know that we got to come in, we got to prepare like we did versus each and every team. So we very excited to take the challenge playing.
What's unique about this offense to you? I mean, that's what everyone's talking about. They're running it a lot. The quarterback runs. What's unique about this offense?
My freshman year at Michigan last year, like Big Ten, kind of remind me of that, like run heavy, so it's definitely a different from SEC coming over here to a different team. So I can say I definitely a new offense that we've seen.
And as a cornerback, what is the challenge of playing a run heavy team like this?
We gotta just come up and tackle. We gotta take on blocks and just be a physical corner.
Thanks, DJ.
What were your thoughts, though? Obviously, what happened in the game when Vandy comes and kind of shocks the college football world.
I was surprised Alabama wasn't able to make adjustments, change what was happening, and try to figure a way out to stop Vandy, figure play, the triple option. I'm very surprised that Bama, didn't go into halftime changing things.
Coach White just described their quarterback, Vandy's quarterback. It's a lot of savvy, a lot of moxie, I think is what he said. You like a challenge of going up against a competitor like that they have a quarterback.
Yeah, when people say you have a top defense in the country, why not have a challenge? Just to keep proving them right, not proving them right, but prove ourselves right. So I think it's a good week to be challenged and conquer the challenge and see what our defense really made of. Saying that we could stop anything.
There's always a different vibe coming off a bye week. How do you guys feel like you utilize that bye week to prepare and get ready, not just for Vandy, but resting up? Do you guys played a pretty heavy, tough front of that schedule?
Say it again?
How did you guys utilize that bye week? What do you guys
we don't really, people think we have a bye week, but you don't have a bye week. You practice during the bye week. It's not really a break, but only break we get is probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Monday through Friday, we was working on Vandy and other teams we playing in the future. But we utilized the bye week to prepare for them. So we had 2 good weeks to prepare for them. So I feel like the game plan we got for them should be good.
Did you think that bye week, or during that bye week, watching all that film on them, were you kind of not surprised? Brad said he knew what was coming with that Vandy team. I know everybody was surprised, but you kind of feel that to be true after watching the film last week on them?
Yeah, certain information, you watch a lot of film on them. Well, you can't watch a lot of film. You watch probably 4 or 5 games because, it's a new offense. But, you get a sense of what's coming if you actually watch and pay attention to the little details of the film. So, little keys give it away. Everything will get some away. It's just that one part you got to focus on.
Probably similar to the Ole Miss week where everybody was talking about the offense you're going to face and how good they are and they're getting so much attention going into it. How much, as defenders, do you guys kind of feed off that a little bit?
Not really. We don't feed them none, man. We just got to, stay within our inner thoughts and stay with our game plan and trust Coach White to put us in the best position to be able to make them type of plays and stop them. And all you got to do is just execute the game plan. And as long as we do that, like you said, we did against Ole Miss. Got out of there with a win, but like I said, just believe in Coach White's game plan to execute, walk out with a W.
I know you got a lot of confidence in yourself, but just as a defense, how much confidence do you guys gain from doing what you did against Ole Miss when a lot of people thought that you had no chance of winning that game?
It's not just Ole Miss, Y'all say Ole Miss because it's a big win, but we go back to fall camp, spring, and I had to build that kind of trust with my guys, and they had to kind of build it with me. But now here, week 6, week 7, I'm full confident. I feel like on our defense side, I think we got one of the top D's in the country. So coming out week in, week out, we just got to keep going. Don't let the outside noise feed into it. I know we said I said top defense, but not get too much of the outside noise. Let it get in. Just keep believing what we doing and just keep going.
How do you make sure that you shatter their confidence a bit in the first quarter when they come to town on Saturday, Pop?
Fly around, tackle, communicate, have energy. Don't let them get nothing easy. We want to do. We know what they want to do, triple option. We got to stop it. And once we stop that, it's Vandy.
They talked a lot about their eye candy and their quarterback being a really good ball handler. How important is it to be disciplined defensively when you're playing an offense like this?
It's very important to be disciplined. You know, like I said, the triple option, man, it's a hell of an offense. I bet we start seeing a lot of that now, going forward in the season, because like you said, the eye candy. But to be disciplined, you know, play your keys, do what you're supposed to do. End of the day, we got to do our job. You know, if your job to key 3, key 2, key 1, key this, key that, your kids are gonna take you to the play. So, like I said, just let Coach Wright, you know, put us in the best position to make them plays.